Henry Archer is one of the more popular micro brands in the US these days. I have always been intrigued by the watches. I see them online, I see them on social media, I see a lot of their fans talking about their robustness and their design and their colors and so on. And so I really wanted to get hands-on with them. I was recently in Denmark and I was able to visit Aarhus and their showroom. So this is a short video giving an overview and my perspective on their watches. So let's get started. So I visited their showroom, which is a small space in their main office where they showcase their watches. And they have their office is in kind of a commercial park building area with a lot of retail stores around it. And it's a little hard to find in some ways because, as you can see here, the Henry Archer sticker or logo is really small. So it took me some while to figure out where exactly they were. They're on the top floor of the building. And inside, as you enter, there's a space, lounge space, showroom space where they showcase the watches. Behind that, there's a design space. Then there's a storeroom where a lot of the watches are. There's a small kitchen. And I got to see the whole space for reasons of privacy, and because all of the designs are there in that space, I have decided not to show that in their video. So the watches themselves, when you go to their show lounge space where the watches are in 3 large watch boxes. And there are around 70 total watches covering almost all their current offering. And seeing all the watches together like this, and even seeing so many options on their website, can be a little bit overwhelming. But I think it's also good to be able to see everything at the same time. And it can help you also make quick decisions because you can compare and contrast everything right then and there. So I decided to be hands-on with as many models as I could, and essentially, since a lot of the cases are the same, they feel similar on the wrist. There's not that much variation when it comes to the watch on the wrist. There's a 38, 39, 40, but beyond that, there's not that much variation. It's the dial and the look that is different. But they also have different kinds of bracelets. So the oyster kind, a beads of rice bracelet, and what is a H-link kind of bracelet. So that gives it a little different feel on the wrist as well. And even in terms of thickness, there is not that much of a variation, although the thinner ones, the 10.45 or so, do feel nicer and much thinner on the wrist. So Henry Archer was founded in 2020 by a Danish product designer, Henrik Schert. And the company has built a really strong reputation within the Microbrand community within the last few years since their launch. And I think it comes down to a few things. One, they actually have really bold dial designs. And a lot of microbrand companies initially stick to like the black or blue or white kind of designs, but Henry Archer has really done very vibrant color, textured finishes, meteorite dials, stone dials, and so on. So they've tried to kind of stand apart in their design through these bold dials. But they have complemented this with really strong specifications. And a lot of buyers of microbrand watches want these specifications, like sapphire crystal, anti-reflective coating. Their watches have really good hardness coating. They have reliable Japanese movement, ceramic bezels, lume, really good lume, and a nice slim profile. So most of the watches are 40 millimeter, but 38, 39, 40 millimeter, and 10.5 to 11.5 millimeter in height. So pretty slim profile, and they also come with good water resistance, and the way they do their hand so on the dial, they're quite legible. Good strong specifications. In addition to that, they are also original in the sense that they haven't gone and taken some design from a popular company. For instance, we see quite often that the watches that are made are based on Rolex's Sub or even Tudor and so on. They have done something different. They have simple designs, but they are distinctive. and they don't look like just a homage to something else. So I think they've done a really good job, and they've perfected it. So they've kept it simple. What you get are not, in terms of case design and so on, is not that many different things, but within that they have nice variations. Let me go through their models and kind of give some hands-on videos as well. So the Vesterhav is their slimmest watch. It's at 10.45 millimeter. And even though it's a thin watch, it is very well engineered, and it has a water resistance of up to 200 meters. Comes in a lot of different dial colors and including mother of pearl designs on them. So quite a wide variation in this model. The Vesterhav also comes in a 38 millimeter. The thinness is the same as the 41, but you do get a smaller size in this one. Then one of the newer releases is the Arkona, which is a Guillaume pattern, so CNC machine Guillaume pattern, kind of inspired by ripples on water. Once again, engineered really well, water resistance up to 200 meter. This is a 40 millimeter case, and this has a 11.5 millimeter case height. And this one comes on a beads of rice bracelet. Tidevent is one of the other slimmer versions. This is a diver watch, 200 meters of water resistance, 120 click bezel, and a lot of mother of pearl offerings in this one, and sapphire crystal, 6-layer anti-reflective coating, so you get all of that as well. And once again, bead of rice bracelet on this one, and all the bracelets have micro adjustment and quick release spring bars, so that is standard. Not every watch comes with the hardness coating, so you might want to look at that if that's something you're interested in. The Tidevent element is different stone dials that are available. One of the other new releases and one of their more popular ones right now, I was told, is the Tidslinje, which is also 40 millimeter, 20 meters of water resistance, but this is a triple calendar. It's not a chronograph, it is a triple calendar, and it's a really nice design. It might not be the most legible because there's a lot going on, but it kind of works. But I think it's a really interesting design, and there are meteorite versions in this one, 3 of them, and then there's one, the white one, which is the plain one. I think very interesting, very nice. Nordso is like the kind of standard skin diver, also quite slim, and it comes both on the oyster kind of bracelet but also on beads of rice. A lot of different choices in that one. The white one is quite popular. It's one of their cleaner white dials, but overall very nicely designed watch. So they also have a GMT, which is a true traveler GMT with 2 time zones setting. It uses the 9075 Muta GMT movement. It comes, once again, a lot of different choices in terms of dials, colors, meters of water resistance on this one. This is a 39mm case and 46 lug to lug. Once again, Superluminova is definitely there. The bracelet, micro adjust, quick release, all that comes standard with this one as well. Then there are a couple of other ones. One of them is the OHAV model, and then there's the Strom model. And this one also has an element line in it. So what was my overall impression of the brand? I think I found the visit interesting because given the popularity, given the size and so on, I find it interesting to see that the space it's not like a large company or something, but still they do such a good job of designing their watches, shipping them, managing them. For the most part, I've been impressed by it and I've read positive things about it. So that was something, useful to know, that a microbrand, even a microbrand that is slightly larger than the really small ones, how they run, how they work, and so on. It was a little intimidating for me to see so many watches all at the same time. And it wasn't very easy for me to pick a watch. I wanted to own one of their watches. I have for a long time, because one of the big reasons is, and something that was confirmed when I tried them on, that they fit really well on my wrist. They suit me quite well. I like the hardness, coating, robustness, sports gala watch kind of thing, because I like to use them. So, and I did end up picking one of their watches, and I will review that later once I've been hands-on with it for some time. And I have to say that I would not have picked that specific watch if I wasn't seeing it in person. And even within that particular model, I was able to choose from among 5 or 6 of those. And that really helped me make my decision. So this gives you a clue to what kind of watch it might be. But I think being hands-on, once again, it proved to me that it really matters. It really allows you to match your expectations, what you really want with what is available. And so I'll talk about that watch in the next video, but I hope you enjoyed the short video about Henry Archer. And for a lot of fans who have their watches or like their watches or want to buy the watches, I hope I was able to provide you a window into the company, something that will help you make your decisions. Until next time, keep watching.